Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Wednesday, the 21st of February 2024, and we have 40 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1245. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 2 years ago. In the Russo-Ukrainian crisis, Russian President Vladimir Putin declares the Luhansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic as independent from Ukraine and moves troops into the region. The action is condemned by the United Nations. 11 years ago in 2013, at least 17 people are killed and 119 injured following several bombings in the Indian city of Hyderabad. 29 years ago in 1995, Steve Fossett lands in Leader, Saskatchewan, Canada, becoming the first person to make a solo flight across the Pacific Ocean in a balloon. "30 years ago in 1994, Aldrich Ames is arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation for selling national secrets to the Soviet Union in Arlington County, Virginia. 49 years ago in 1975, in the Watergate scandal, former United States Attorney General John N. Mitchell and former White House aides H.R. Haldeman and John Ehrlichman are sentenced to prison. 50 years ago in 1974, the last Israeli soldiers leave the West Bank of the Suez Canal pursuant to a truce with Egypt. 51 years ago in 1973, over the Sinai Desert, Israeli fighter aircraft shoot down Libyan Arab Airlines Flight 114, killing 108 people. 52 years ago in 1972, United States President Richard Nixon visits China to normalize Sino-American relations. In the same year, the Soviet uncrewed spaceship Luna 20 lands on the moon. 53 years ago in 1971, the Convention on Psychotropic Substances is signed at Vienna. 66 years ago in 1958, the CND symbol, aka peace symbol, commissioned by the Direct Action Committee in protest against the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment, is designed and completed by Gerald Holtom. "72 years ago in 1952, the British government under Winston Churchill abolishes identity cards in the UK to set the people free. In the same year, the Bengali language movement protests occur at the University of Dhaka in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. 76 years ago in 1948, NASCAR is incorporated. 77 years ago in 1947, in New York City, Edwin Land demonstrates the first instant camera, the Polaroid land camera, to a meeting of the Optical Society of America. 79 years ago in 1945, in World War II, during the Battle of Iwo Jima, Japanese kamikaze planes sink the escort carrier USS Bismarck C and damage the USS Saratoga. In the same year, also in World War II, the Brazilian Expeditionary Force defeat the German forces in the Battle of Monte Castello on the Italian front. 87 years ago in 1937, the League of Nations bans foreign national volunteers in the Spanish Civil War. 95 years ago in 1929, in the first battle of the Warlord Rebellion in northeastern Shandong against the nationalist government of China, a 24,000 strong rebel force led by Zhang Zhongchang was defeated at Zifu by 7,000 NRA troops. "99 years ago in 1925, The New Yorker publishes its first issue. 103 years ago in 1921, Constituent Assembly of the Democratic Republic of Georgia adopts the country's first constitution. In the same year, Reza Shah takes control of Tehran during a successful coup. 105 years ago in 1919, German socialist Kurt Eisner is assassinated. His death results in the establishment of the Bavarian Soviet Republic and parliament and government fleeing Munich, Germany. 106 years ago in 1918, the last Carolina parakeet dies in captivity at the Cincinnati Zoo. 108 years ago in 1916, in World War I, in France, the Battle of Verdun begins. 111 years ago in 1913, Ioannina is incorporated into the Greek state after the Balkan Wars. 128 years ago in 1896, an Englishman raised in Australia, Bob Fitzsimmons, fought an Irishman, Peter Mayer, in an American promoted event which technically took place in Mexico, winning the 1896 World Heavyweight Championship in boxing. 139 years ago in 1885, the newly completed Washington Monument is dedicated. 146 years ago in 1878, the first telephone directory is issued in New Haven, Connecticut. 150 years ago in 1874, the Oakland Daily Tribune publishes its first edition. 162 years ago in 1862, in the American Civil War, Battle of Valverde is fought near Fort Craig in New Mexico Territory. 176 years ago in 1848, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels publish the Communist Manifesto. 182 years ago in 1842, John Greenough is granted the first US patent for the sewing machine. 196 years ago in 1828, initial issue of the Cherokee Phoenix is the first periodical to use a Cherokee syllabary invented by Sequoyah. 216 years ago in 1808, without a previous declaration of war, Russian troops crossed the border to Sweden at Aberfors in eastern Finland, thus beginning the Finnish War, in which Sweden will lose the eastern half of the country, i.e. Finland, to Russia. 220 years ago in 1804, the first self-propelling 220 years ago in 1804, the first self-propelling steam locomotive makes its outing at the Pen Idaran Ironworks in Wales. "227 years ago in 1797, a force of 1,400 French soldiers invaded Britain at Fishguard in support of the Society of United Irishmen. They were defeated by 500 British reservists. "411 years ago in 1613, Mikhail I is unanimously elected Tsar by a National Assembly, beginning the Romanov dynasty of Imperial Russia. "584 years ago in 1440, the Prussian Confederation is formed. 779 years ago in 1245, Thomas, the first known bishop of Finland, is granted resignation after confessing to torture and forgery. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.